last call. Mm. Okay, so good morning, good evening, everyone, and welcome back in today's class. Today we are on the, I guess, day number 34 or 35. I can say, let me see, when the day number 35. Okay, so till now, what we discussed, if I take a quick recap of the 2 or 3 minutes only. So what we started and where we have reached now. We started with the ITSM part. What is ITSM? And all the things will be there. Okay, ITSM, ServiceNow, basics, data centers, fail, backover, ServiceNow introduction, navigation, banner frame, content frame. Then we see about the table creation, field creation, form layout, form designing part. I can say that we have learned. Then we go for the email configurations, when to set, to whom set, templates in the email notification will be there. Then we move to the SLA part, SLA configuration, SLA testing, retroactive start, retroactive pause. That part we done that in that area. After that, we pick up a complete big sea of request management, starting from the service portal introduction, service portal configuration, creation of the new service portal, putting the different catalogs on the top of that. Then we discuss about the request management, catalog, category, maintain items. In that we have the catalog builder, normal workflow by flow designers, multiple things the flow designer. Then we see about the upgrades and cloning. We saw that how I upgraded my system from Rome to San Diego. Then we understand that what is the cloning purpose are there, what are the things we have to be taken the cloning, what is upgrade, how the upgrade can be taken care. And after that, we started working on the CMDB part, CMDB, CI, asset creation, mapping, backend table, business logics on that part. And in the last week, what we done specifically on the reporting dashboard, PA performance, that is part we have done that thing. And finally, we are here now a little bit more in the admin job. Okay. I'm saying admin, why? Because I'm getting a lot of comments from the people on the personal front as well that Atul, I want to become a ServiceNow admin. Just to be clarified, now there's a no term exists called ServiceNow admin. If you go in the market, either you should be a ServiceNow consultant, ServiceNow developer, ServiceNow tester, or ServiceNow architect. The term admin is just a basic one now. It has value, but not much as compared to the beginning of the service now. Now today we are going to be discuss little bit interesting topics where you are be little more interested to see. Let me go and create an incident. Okay. So I'll try to take these two topics today, if possibly we are able to do that part. Okay. What has been stuck? Okay. Now, if you notice, if you log into this portal, you are able to see a field which has a mark as a red asterisk sign. Right? Everybody is able to see open date, caller, short description. Okay. Right? If I write something here and click here, it call. Now the point is that what these things called in service now. I'm talking about the service now. Anything which you are doing for the customer, where customer is able to see, is called the UI. And these things are coming from the UI policy. If you are a developer, then you must know all these things about. If you are a consultant, you can say to your developer that client is looking for this thing to be mandatory at this particular time. So these are called the UI policies. All the red dots you can see here. Maybe if I scroll down, something more we are able to get? No, not as of now. But if I want to close this one incident, let me click on the resolve. Now you see, these become mandatory. If I remove from resolve to in progress or new, these gone. From where these things are functioning, let's discuss that part today. Everybody is with me. Everybody understand that what we are expecting in today's session. So it will take only 20-30 minutes to understand that part, because the logic part, the scripting part, we can discuss in our scripting session. But as of now, I'll just give you the overview about the same. So let's go here and click on the UI policy. UI policy. Under system policies, UI, we have a UI policy. Let me open another window. Okay. So now if I click on the other window, you can see the multiple UI policies are there. Let me show you some out of the box. Let's search here for the incident. Because UI policy work on the table level. Okay. In the table, we use the field. So now what these policies say, these are the 6 or 7 policies are there. Field set mandatory for all states. Make field read only on a close. Field universal, hide universal request if empty. When state is on hold reason should be visible, like this, what it's saying. Put on hold, it become mandatory. Don't think that it is just a simple English we write and everything will done. No. Never, no. Okay. But the point come here that Atul, UI policy you are showing to us what we can do in the UI policy. Let me click on the new. See, in ServiceNow, every component has a specific set of work. And here, the need of architect and the consultant come into the picture. Let's have a definition. This is an interview question. It says that you can use a UI policy on the form-based set of the condition. UI policy is used show or hide field, number 1. Make field mandatory or read-only. Mandatory and read-only is a third one. It means only for these 3 actions, I will use the UI policy. Okay. Mandatory, read-only, and hide. Now I tell you that why I'm telling you this thing, and why I said that it is be good if, or it is be required a good architect or the consultant here. If you want to make a field mandatory or read only or hide, even you can use the client script and you can do your work. But ServiceNow specifically says that if you are a good architect, if you are a good consultant, you need to use the first UI policy. If you are not able to achieve your results on the UI policy, then you go for the client script. Because if you're doing this thing, it is a configuration. But if you're doing this thing, it is a customization. Remember these things. These are the client scripts are the customization. UI policies are the configuration only. Because you're already using the something inbuilt thing. Client script is you're not using the inbuilt, you want to build something new at your own end. Clear everyone? Let me come back here.
Yes.
Yeah.
All everyone clear? Avi, Sneha, Deepika, Nupur?
Yes, Atul.
Great. You can switch off the video, Deepika, that's fine. Okay.
Yes.
Now I come back here. So remember that this question come into the picture, that what is configuration and what is customization. And there's a blog has been written by Chuck Tomsey. He's one of the great personality in ServiceNow. Okay. And many people, even I also follow him. He mentioned that what is a customization, what is a configuration, and why customization is required, why configuration is required. Okay. In our next week or maybe this week, we have a topic called the now create. I will try to show you the difference between customization and the configuration. See, remember, when you say that you are a ServiceNow consultant, and if customers say, Atul, I want this form should be look like something opposite or something different, and you think that this cannot be achieved by the out-of-the-box functionality, then it is a pure customization. As a consultant, I never recommend, as a consultant in my professional journey, I never recommend a customization unless I have a very valid reason from the business perspective. Like someone say, Atul, can you take a one-to-one training? I said no. Unless I get a very convincing reason. Monetary is the one thing. Or maybe someone approach from the very high level guy and say, hey, you have to do it for me. I don't care about anything. You have to do it for me. Then I go out of the box for me. Otherwise, I'll say, boss, this is my batch, join and done. If not interested, go and watch the videos. But one-to-one training is not possible. Luckily, unluckily, I did not get any chance for one-to-one training as of now. People approach, but due to the bandwidth, I did not say yes to them. So now let's come back here to understand this thing. On which table? Okay, one more thing. A UI policy work only and only when UI policy is in the active state. This work. The item of the field is evaluate here. Under that, you will find a field. I'll tell you that what is the field I'm talking here. That is, and last, a specific field, specific on the UI policy, the field should be present on the form only. Suppose this field is not present on the form, and I want to build a UI policy for this. I cannot build. It is must that the field should be on the form only. If I am putting this field on the table level but not bringing on the form level, then I have to use the data policy. Another question for today's homework. Maybe Kane, you can take a note of this question today. What is the data policy and how data policy are different than the UI policies? Read it. Not going to teach, not going to be discussed, but you have to read it because these things asked in the interview. Now let's come back to our UI policies.
So can you repeat the question?
What is the difference between data policy and the UI policy? Okay. Now let's go to the change form because this is little heavy. So let's go to the change form. Easy to do that, but I can say easy to recognize the results. And let's create a UI policy on the change request. This one. Okay. Now let me go to normal change. Okay. So now as of now, you can see there's a no field is mandatory in the normal change. Let's do some fields mandatory here. Okay. Let's go here. So I am creating a UI policy on the table called change request. And this is, I'm saying, assigned to mandatory, just to be easily recognizable. Now it has two things: when to apply and script. Scripting part we'll see in the scripting session, not now. When to apply, like in the email, when to send, to whom send, and who will receive, or what to send. Sorry. When to apply says the condition. I want to make this UI policy run when state is new. Okay. don't see anything like this, don't see this field as of now. I'll come back to this and click on the submit. Save. Okay. Now I go and reload my page. Assign to is not mandatory. Why? Because we just have a definition. We did not pass the parameters. Now scroll down and open the related list. And here you need to put the UI action. If there is a smoke in the room, shower will on automatically. This is the if smoke in the room condition. What to do is come here. Click on the new. On which field you want to create this UI policy of the change request. I say I want to do on the assign to. This one. What you want to do? Mandatory, visible, read only, or clear the field. I say make it mandatory too. Let's save it. No other value I'm picking up. I'm just showing you something here. It become mandatory. Oh, UI policy. Also read about the UI pages as well. Read about the UI pages. That is an I avoid submit button actually because it take the complete load. Where is our one which we created just now? This one. Okay. So now you can see this become mandatory. Everyone with me? Understood completely till this point?
Yes, Ato. So
yes, go ahead.
A quick question. You said the setup over there was like when it's new. So if you change the stats from new now,
I'm coming. Give me a minute. I'm coming to that point.
Okay.
Okay. Now the point is just go to this UI policy again. Okay. I have this point already in the discussion. What I can say, Kane, give me some time. Okay. Now let me change the view here from advanced so that I can see other options as well. Okay. Okay. Now let's open this one. Now I open this one, mandatory, and let me click on the read only. True. And click on the, sorry, not this, read only true. Okay, let's see all true. Save. That's nice. My field in, okay. That's nice. Okay. Chalo, let's do it now. Reload this page. It is assigned, but not read only. But we have a policy, read only. What it's saying? Let me try to save it, or it did not save completely. See, yes, I'm waiting for this error actually. What it's saying, there's a multiple UI policy with the same order this field has been run. Assigned to mandatory, assigned to mandatory. What this particular thing is saying, two perspectives to understand this point here. Number one, when you're saying any field should be mandatory, then how it can be read only? Like, see, this is read only. I cannot do anything here. If I cannot write anything, then how I can we make it mandatory? Yes or no? Avi, Deepika,
Yes,
Nupur,
yes,
Kane, right?
yes.
And also it's saying that you want to make assign to is read only or mandatory, which has a conflict with some other UI policy on the same state, on the same conditions. It means you cannot put a UI policy on a field which already is have a UI policy from the other UI policy definition. Let's take example. I told to my son, switch off the fan. And my wife also says the same thing. Switch on the, and she says switch on the fan. But on the same conditions. Then service now says, sorry, I'm not able to recognize where to go. So it is giving me an error here. So let me make a assign to, instead of assign to, let's have a short description. Or maybe short description is also mandatory. Okay, and now let's save it. Let's see if it is giving error or not. Okay, it is still giving me error. Okay, what field we can take it then? Let's take risk is mandatory. So these are the things you have to be think. Customer is always say do this thing, do this thing, do this thing, but it's you to have to be decide, not the customer that how it's going to work for you. Risk. Let's save it. It did not save. What happened? It's not saving or what? It's changing to the risk. Okay, now it's done. Okay, now if I go and there's a new request, this become mandatory for me. Internet is slow, I guess. Till this point, everyone clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thanks for acknowledgement. I thought that there's some problem in my network connection. It's slow now. It's solid. So now you can see. It's mandatory and it's read only. Why? Because I have a policy like this. Okay. Then you can check this option as well. Clear the field value. What to do? I'm not sure. You can check. Now the question comes from the K. Atul, if I make my state to assess or cancelled, then it should not be mandatory. Or this should not be mandatory. Very valid point, right? If there's a no smoke in the room, then there should be no shower as well. Very simple. Shower should not work if there's a no smoke in the room. Then go back here and go to the UI policy. Click on the back. This one, right? And come on this area. This is important to understand now. What it's saying, global, OwnLoad, reverse if false, and inherit. Global means this particular UI policy which I'm creating should be applicable across the applications as well. If anybody using my table change request, then they are using the assign to as well, or this UI policy as well. That is the meaning of the global, you can say. Or I can say, if I change my view, once I save it, let me save this. Okay. And click on the save. Just give me 1 minute. And if I go here and change the view, in the default view it is mandatory. If I say no, should not be mandatory for everyone, then untick. And it asks that for which view you want to make it mandatory. That is the purpose of the global here. Go ahead.
Atul, like I just want to understand if we are making any changes in the UI policy for any form, like change request form you're making. So it will be changed for all the change request form, right?
It's a global, not all the change. See, change form is only one, right?
Yes.
It is a global one. See, you are not making a change on the form level. Remember, Nupur, you are making a UI policy on the table level.
Okay.
Okay. See, you want to see that
Yes.
where the change is working. For that, you're using the form. But did we mention here that I'm using a form? I just
No.
mentioned it's a table. Now, if this table will be used by any other user to create his table, then this thing will also applicable there.
Okay.
Okay. So that is it. I'm saying these 4 points are there. Inherit. If I have a UI policy on the task table, because this is extended from which table? Task table, right? If in the task table assign to is mandatory and I don't want to use that, then you can untake it. Table that extend the special table inherit the UI policy. In simple short, if I give you this thing, this option, like what is the meaning of the global? You got a good sanskar from your parents. We tell to our kids, don't lie, don't cheat, don't do the gossips, don't jealous. These are the global one. But if you tell to a thief, hey, don't steal or don't do these bad things, not applicable for him. He has a separate view on that part. My father says, or everybody father says, do your work with honesty. It is up to me. Do I want to follow that policy or not? Inherit true or inherit no? Because in this case, if you go to the task table, then you can see what fields are inherit, and you will get it in there as well, in the extended table as well. Now, again, I'm adding one more point here, which we are going to be discussed. Atul, ठीक है, I got this property from my parents. Can I change the behavior of my property now? The generation of parents is a different. Today's generation is different. Coming generation is very different. Can I change the behavior of the coming generation? Yes. And that concept is called the dictionary override. You are changing the behavior of a field which you get from the extended one or out of the box. Clear? Nupur?
Yes, Atul.
These 4 concepts work on that area only. Everyone should be clear here. Bikola, Avi, Kane, Daytona, Kachi, Sarah, Laura, Sneha, Deepika. Everybody is clear what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So in this case, what will happen if you go here? If you are creating a new table and extending the change request, and in this case, if you click inherit, then assign to will become mandatory in the new table as well. That is another point. Now, if I come here, OwnLoad, it means as soon as I load my page, these fields become mandatory for me. It is coming from here. So it's called the OwnLoad. Let me untick and save this. Let me create a new change here. See, this is not mandatory. Okay, it's mandatory. It's why it's coming on load only. Did not save kya? We save it, but still not showing. maybe sometime cache issue also there. Otherwise, it should not be mandatory because it say apply the UI policy action when the form is loaded. Okay, loaded means it will be see when the complete form will be loaded. And if I tick this box, it means I'm saying that as soon as I click on the new, it starts loading in the background, which I'm not able to see sometime. That is the purpose of the OwnLoad here. Generally, we make it as a tick box true always. And here the your point came. Reverse the effect of UI action when conditions evaluate false. It means if you see when the UI policy work, if the conditions are true, if conditions are false, then what to do? Let untick or maybe and see the results. And let's try to see. Condition is true, new state, mandatory. Let's try to change the condition here. Assess. It's not working. Why? Because we untick this box. Let's make a tick this box. Save. And now load this page. Oh, both have been hidden now. New, see, in new, it's showing assign to and this. If reverse false, it's not showing anything. Let's see what we have mentioned. Visible, true, true. Maybe some other policy also running in the background for the cancelled part, or maybe it's coming from our only. Okay. So via this thing, this option, you can make these changes easily. And if I make it a false and you want this to be what I can say, clear the value. Maybe let's say leave alone and change and save. And now let me reload my page. Sometimes it happens. Okay, it's coming from the background. Some other script is running in this area, guys. So, but you can see here, risk is not mandatory now. It's become mandatory. This is called the reverse. If I go back here, and let untick this box. And save. And reload this page. Mandatory. Okay. And assess. See, still changes are there. It's still showing mandatory to me. Why? Because I did not check the reverse if false. Ken, got your answer or any other doubt here?
That's good. Good.
Okay, great. Bukola, Catchy, Sarah, Laura, Nupur, Sneha, Avi, Deepika, Detona. Any doubt, any question, any clarification required in this topic? Okay. Now, if you see, yes, go ahead, Deepika. Okay. Now, if you see, this has been given. Convert this to the data policy. Try this at your end. Can take a note of this question and mention. Convert this to the data policy. What this mean? Let me show you. Sometimes I feel very, what I can say, confused manner, shall I skip it for your R&D or shall I do it from my side? This is a data policy now. You guys remember that we have done the transform map? Yes or no? We done the transform map, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what we done in the transform map? We brought the data in ServiceNow from the Excel sheet, right? Right?
Yes.
Now, if you want to make sure the correct data should be go in ServiceNow, we have a data policy on the place. It applies for the import side. It applies from the SOP, SOP for the integration part. It applies for the UI policy. Read about this. I'm not going to tell anything here. Read about this completely. Okay. Interesting topic. Yes, this is one of the topic which a consultant should know. But you guys need to do the R&D here. Clear everyone till this point? Any doubt, any question, any clarification? Sarah, Kachi, Bhumi, Lara. Bhumi is not there today. No, Bhumi is not there. Let me try to invite once again. Yes, go ahead, guys, in the meantime. Any doubt? Okay. So with this, our UI policy topic has been completed. Scripting, we will see. Don't worry, we will see about the scripting part as well. Okay. Now let me come back to an important point. What is this? This two. Tell me, guys, quickly.
Action. UI action.
Okay. What is this?
UI action.
UI actions.
What is this?
Same thing.
Same thing. Sure. Okay. Give me a minute. Let me ask one more thing. Okay, good. So people are saying these are the UI actions. Okay, very nice. What is this? Tell me.
It says related links.
Okay, but what is this? What do you call in ServiceNow? Yes, experts.
Which one?
These three.
I thought it said related links right there.
Okay, let me go here and let me clear your doubts. Why there is no option for related links here then? Why there is no option?
Because you're making a configuration here, I believe. That's a form view. The other one is a form view.
That's fine, it's form view. But my point is that these are the related links. Then why there's no module of the related links here? See.
Oh, okay.
Now,
okay, I didn't see.
Yes. So you agree that which you're able to see on the form, it's coming from somewhere. Right, Lara?
There are also UI actions, I believe.
Correct.
Anything you're going to click on the form is a UI action.
Yes. So these things which are able to see, these buttons, these options, or these options, they are called the UI action. Don't call it button, call it the UI action in the standard ServiceNow form. One ground rule, let me tell you. If you want to add a new UI action on your change form or incident or knowledge or problem or request, it is a customization, not a configuration. It's a pure customization. Second part, to do the work on the UI action, you must, yes, you must have a scripting knowledge, because UI action never work on a drag and drop. No, it required a complete hardcore coding only. Let's come to the topic and start discussing on that part.
So
Everybody, yes, go ahead, Kane.
and that is the responsibility of a developer, right?
Sorry?
Is that a responsibility of a developer?
Yes, it is the responsibility of developer, but see, developer came in the hierarchy on the very, very bottom side. You as a consultant on the front face. If your customer says, okay, Kane, I need one button here called the emergency, then you should say, boss, it is a customization because this is not available out of the box. Give me a more justification so that I can talk to my developers, talk to my architect. If you think as a consultant that you are convinced with the justification, then proceed to the technical team. Hey guys, they need one button here. Then the developer or architect asks, okay, what to do on the click of the button? If I click on the resolve, what happened? The ticket moved the resolve state where that code has been written. This is what we have to be understand now. Okay. So you have to be asked, okay, tell me, boss, if you click on the emergency button, what will happen? He will tell, if I click on the emergency button, a message will go out to all my stakeholders, irrespective of the country region, irrespective of the time zone, irrespective of the designation. To all my stakeholders, the message should go. Okay. Now, if you are a good consultant, to commit your customer, okay, we will do this thing, you need to be thinking that, can I have any other alternative to do this part? This is the job of a consultant. To everyone, I'm telling you this thing. You have to find out in ServiceNow that can ServiceNow provide, or do ServiceNow provide any kind of a module to send an SMS from ServiceNow to the stakeholders. People ask me, Atul, you are a consultant, what you do? I said, these things I do. And that is the reason a consultant should be one step ahead the stakeholders, developer, architect. In there are many companies who hiring consultant and they expecting that consultant should know the tool technically as well. Okay, so now let's come back here on the UI action. Your point clear, Ken? Any question here?
Yeah, oh, good.
Okay, so now you can see here. Let me search for the new. Can you imagine I have 184 records of a new button? Let's put a table here. Incident. Oops, wrong spelling. These three are here.
Atul, just tell me one thing. We just created a UI policy, right?
Right.
And there we created an action also to make it mandatory
No. That is UI action. Okay, yes, we done
UI
right.
action.
Right.
Yeah. So after while creating the UI policy, we are creating a UI action.
Right.
So while creating the UI action, there only if we write the script, then we can create the button there itself, or we need to create a
no.
UI.
This is a separate concept totally.
Okay.
UI policy will only and only work for the three things: hide, mandatory, or read only. Button will be shown on the form that what to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is the UI policy. These are the UI actions you can see here.
But to make the fields mandatory or hide only, we are creating UI action for UI policy.
No. I want to make a button here. When I click on this button, a message should go for everyone, which you cannot do via UI policy. Confused?
Because while you were creating the UI policy, when you scroll down, you created a new UI action for that.
Correct, correct.
Right. So that was also a UI action.
That is UI action to support your UI policy.
Okay.
That is policy action. Remember, if there is a smoke, then shower should be on automatically. Here I am saying I need a button to click on the shower as well.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now let's create a new UI action and take one by one by one. Okay. Let's put here as a emergency. On which table you want to put it? Again, important concept. On which table you want to put it? Let's say incident. And save. Okay. And let's load this page. Good. Button is not visible. Why? We created the button, right? Everyone agree? We created a button.
Don't you have to write a script to support what you need the button to do?
Button should do is the another thing. Before that, you have to place the button as well on the form. Understand, Laura? You want to bring a fridge in your home. But before that, you have to make a place for the fridge as well, where to put it. Correct? Laura, agree on this or not?
Oh, that was Bukola.
Sorry, Bukola. So now come here and see these things. Let's discuss this part. Form button, form context, form link. Let me do the form style as well, just to see you something different. List banner, list button, list context, list choice, list link, unstyled. These options I'm putting are randomly here. We'll see that what is the meaning of all these things are there. Click on the save. And let's say abracadabra. when small kids are there, we do this magics with them. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, remember, wait. Okay, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. How many we see? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll show you something more here. Five. Then it's gone. 6. Where it's gone. I'm not getting option here called the form 1. Okay, sorry, this one. 7. These 7 changes are coming from this side only. I intentionally put destructive and unstyled just to show you the difference. Destructive means this is a destructive. Unstyled means this is an unstyled. See. Now I want, if I click on the emergency, something should happen. Something should happen. This is the second part we are going to do now. But before that, everyone clear till this point, or anyone any doubt, any question, any clarification required?
So,
Yes, go ahead, Kane.
so you're saying the destructive is what makes it red or what?
Correct. Make it red.
Okay.
Let's do the changes here. Primary. See, it's a primary now.
All right.
Okay. Just to give a different flavor to that button. Like if you see in our home, if you have a complete setup of electricity, all the things, there's a button called SOS, emergency button, and that is always in a different color, a red color, blue color, dark color, so that people should know that this is a different button we need to be touched. We did not touch until unless we require it properly. Now I come to the second part. Let me save it. Okay. Now I come back here and I remove this option. Show update. Deepika, Nupur, Sneha, Avi, everybody on with me or have any disconnect here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
With you,
Load
with you.
this page.
Atul, why it is being divided by name, by destructive or primary something? Why it is not described by the colors if it is all about the color thing?
No. Okay. The reason is that you cannot set the color here. There because if I in this way you can add one more form style as well if required. Color can be RGB only primary basis. But this thing said destructive, as the name said, destructive means something going to be destruct now. So they put it like that only, just to be easy to convince, easy to read, easy to understand. If I put a red, then what do you mean red? It's going to be change the complete form color red. It's going to be going to field red or table red, what this is doing. But if I put destructive, it means on this form, when the page, the form will load and the button will be look like a destructive here. That is when they have put it a simpler way to understand the thing.
Can we also add more form styles here if you want to add?
You can. Why not? You can, but it is a pure customization. You have to do it. If you want to do, go right click and show form style. Go to this table, open this, and make your codes there. You can add. Why not? ServiceNow never say you cannot do or you should not do. ServiceNow say you can do as much as you require, but follow some principles. Also, one more thing. Okay, let's discuss this part first, then I'll come to this part. Show update. Now, if you go here, this button is not available. Why? Because I mark it as the untick. That when any record has been inserted, I don't want to show this button. So these options, these two options, these 7 options, you can try at your side. Now I come to this part. Override. Again, I got a cake. I have a birthday. My friend came at 12 o'clock with a cake. On the top of that, my wife also bring a cake. I override my friend's cake. It says that boss, see, because I told you, if you want to make any changes in the any existing out of the box component, specifically UI policies, UI actions, business logics, business rules, okay, don't make it directly. Make a copy and do it part. I want to say that this emergency should override the update button or the delete button. Let's see. Open it and No, it's not coming from the here. It means it is coming something other table. Let's see. No. Let me see. Resolve. Okay, I want to override this button. Save and click on the show update as well. See. These are the cosmetic changes, but actual thing is little later. Reload this page. So now what will happen? The work which has been done by resolve will be work done by the emergency as well. Okay, but generally, we avoid any kind of a new UI action creation because that is a pure customization, and we not try to override as well. We keep it like that only. If instead of override we say, okay, let's hide that button from the form. When it is not visible, then it will not, user will not able to use as well. Clear everyone till this point with me?
Yes.
Yes, guys.
Yes.
Bukola, Sarah, Kachi, Laura, Kane, Bukola, Avi, Deepika, Nupur, Sneha. Now I click on the client. That to whom it should be compatible. I'm not sure that what is this list, view 2 or v3. I'm not understand this part. Okay. Now the thing come here. Let me open a UI action just to show you. Incident, and let me take a new here. Okay, let's check this one. See, every UI action should have a condition. When to show, when to run. This is a condition for this. It's saying to whom this new button should be visible. They're talking about this new button. If I'm not wrong, here or someone else, maybe this one, this new button. To whom this new button should be visible. Here is the code they mentioned. Current dot can create and pgetlist control omit new button without check. I'm not sure that what this means specifically, but they're saying if a user has an ITL rule. This GS and all things we are going to be discussed in our scripting part. So if this condition is matching, only then run this code in the background. This is all scripting, complete. See, complete scripting part. Maybe just to reduce something more, let's pick up some other button here. Disable is not on incident. Maybe they have on the some other table. Is it on the task table? Let's see. No, not sure which table they're using it. Let's pick up example of the save here. Global one. Yes, save a new record here. So what it's saying, current can create and current is a new record. Create a new record and use the function called the current.insert. Record will be inserted. These comments and hints will be applicable just to show you on the this one. Like if I click on this, what should be need to be do here? This is for that only. But actual logic will be mentioned here only. And this required a pure coding knowledge, which we will discuss in the upcoming days. Agree everyone till this point? You can write anything. I don't know. So let's write it something. On click, what to do, condition, and what code need to be do it here. And now it says required rule. What rule are required to use this UI action? I don't want to show this emergency button to the ITL user. No. I want to show this emergency button only and only the user who is having the incident manager role. This thing you have to be defined here. What role you are looking for? Let me say ITL. Now, if any user who has the ITL role will able to see this button. If I remove this and mention the incident manager, and in this case, create a user who is having just incident manager role and check. He's able to see the rest, no one can see this thing. Clear everyone till this point. Yes, guys, go ahead.
Yes.
Kane is replied back. Vicola, Kunal, Catchy, Daytona, Laura, Sarah,
Clear.
Nopo.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Clear.
and at last it come to this point where on the workspace you want to put it. Workspace are a little different. When we go for the CSM part, then I'll show you one workspace. So we can make it true here that I want to show this on this workspace as well. But as of now, for an introduction part of UI action, is that we should know that how to create table. And okay, one more thing, action name. Put a question again. What is the meaning of the order in the different components? Like in the UI policy, I have an order. In a UI action, I have an order. In SLA, I have an order. In email, I have an order. What is the meaning of this order word in the service now? Is it an execution order?
Is the placement of the...
No. It is an execution order. Let me show you. Let's save this. Placement you have done here. And let me go to this thing. Let me take back. And let add order as well. This question is one of the questions which came in the certification exam as well. That what is the meaning of the order here? What is the purpose of the order here? See, minus 10,000, minus 1,000, minus 300, minus 150. See, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then you can see. If on a single table you have a multiple UI action, then what should we work when? This order decide actually. Up to 200 we have. Minus 10,000. If nothing is executing, then only this should execute. Okay. Clear everyone till this point. Yes, go ahead, please.
I said clear. I understand.
Okay, great. Good. Any other doubt, guys? Any other point? Daytona, any doubt, any question? Catchy?
No, Atul, none as of now.
Okay, Picola?
No doubt.
Okay, Sarah? Laura?
So can you explain the last point?
Okay,
That regarding the order and all.
this one.
Yes.
The order says let me give you the example. If there is a fire, then what should be the order for the emergency? Will you call to the doctor first? Will you call your friend first? Or will you take a video first and put on the WhatsApp or the social one? Or will you call the fire brigade first? You will call
Fire
the fire
extinguisher,
brigade.
please.
Correct.
Definitely.
That is the order they have decided. Then in which order this should be executed? Because if you see, these many saves are on the zero with the same order, but has been defined on the different tables as well. Maybe let me take example. So like this. On an incident form, I have 25 UI actions. And out of this, see how many are on the 100. Everything is on 100 almost. Right?
Yes,
It is
sir.
just to avoid, it is just to be see that on from which particular form you are using that action. Let me show you here. I click new here, 1. I can click new here, 2nd. I can click new here, add 3rd. I can click new here, it's not new here, sorry. I can put save here, 4th. So how this thing works, it has been defined as per their order. Tomorrow we are going to be discuss 2 more things, client script and the business rule. Then you will be getting more confused because those also have an order. So for us, it is required that we need to be see that what order we should put it here. Just see that how many UI policies or UI actions are running on this page and what is the order I can put it. Can I put the copy incident with my assigned to incident? I can put. If there is no conflict, then I can put. Right? So that is the purpose of the order here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Deepika, Sneha, Nupur, girls department. Yes, go ahead, guys. Any doubt, any question? Okay, if no doubt, no question, give me a minute for a quick attendance and then we can close the call for today. Let me stop the recording here.